Oprah Winfrey is once again getting political, and this time it's at the Women in the World Summit. The 65-year-old media mogul blasted President Donald Trump and his supporters in veiled terms. She called certain Americans confused on gun rights, morality, and intelligence. In other words, referring to the president in a sick way, Oprah claimed those who support him are immoral, gun-loving idiots. Well, the Trump hater was made to regret it. Once again Oprah Winfrey is making political statements hoping those who support President Trump aren't smart enough to figure out she views us as just a bunch of dumb gun-toting hillbillies. Well, we can read between the lines. Winfrey was at the Women in the World Summit where she gave the keynote address. She started her almost 15-minute rant by strangely pretending to be a slave woman from the Old South. Using her best Southern slave voice, she tried to make the point that women of color in America are still under the white man's lash. That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages, and lifted over ditches, and to have the best place everywhere, Oprah said. Nobody ever helps me into carriages, or over mud puddles, or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? I have plowed and planted, and gathered into barns, and no man could head me. And ain't I a woman? Winfrey added. I could work as much and eat as much as a man, when I could get it, and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children, and seen most all sold off to slavery, and when I cried out with my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? After that bizarre display of drudging up racism in the Old South, she heaped praise on her new Barack Obama, Stacey Abrams, the failed gubernatorial candidate from Georgia. Oprah then went on to launch a sneak attack at Trump and his supporters, as she spoke about America and certain Americans. Let's start with there's the profound and abiding lack of equitable pay, ditto the lack of affordable childcare. There is the distinct possibility of being sexually assaulted in college or raped on a date. There are the bosses who believe that the female anatomy is theirs for the grabbing, the 65-year-old said according to The Hollywood Reporter. We live in a country that has somehow confused cruel with funny, serious with intelligent, attitude with belief, personal freedom with stockpiling assault weapons, and what is moral with what is legal, Oprah declared to the leftist crowd. So, to be clear, Oprah is saying certain Americans are confused. Obviously, she thinks Trump supporters are cruel and not funny, love our gun rights so much we mistake it for personal freedom, and confuse what is legal for being moral. In other words, we are cruel, gun-loving, immoral idiots. That's rich coming from the party she supports, which murders babies after botched abortions. It's also rich coming from the Democratic Party, which backs setting up abortion clinics to target African Americans and Hispanics. 79% of Planned Parenthood's surgical abortion facilities are located within walking distance of African American and Hispanic communities. Minority communities are the #1 targets of Planned Parenthood, says Relevant Arnold Colbreth, Director of Protecting Black Life and a founding member of the National Black Pro-Life Coalition. It's no wonder abortion remains the leading cause of death among African Americans, higher than all other causes combined. Don't tell Oprah. She's advocating for the party who backs black genocide. In fact, Oprah, who enjoys wealth and power, is using her celebrity to advocate for gun control. We all know before every communist revolution, they came for the population's guns. According to Pew Research and the CDC, gun control has not lessened mass shootings or even crime in general. Then, there's Oprah saying we confuse our beliefs with attitudes. Since the leftist media has made a big deal out of Trump supporters being crazy Christians, it's safe to say this is what Oprah was talking about. This country was not founded on an attitude. It was founded on Judeo-Christian values which are reflected in the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration states, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These unalienable rights come from God, the one true God, from our Judeo-Christian faith." Oprah and her ilk of rabid leftists need to separate our Christian faith from our American government if they are going to succeed in transforming America into a godless socialistic nightmare. Karl Marx knew this all too well. The only God can be the state, the government. Well, Oprah and her buddies are going to find that American patriots who are clinging to their God and their guns, as Barack Obama said, won't go quietly into the good night. They can call us backward hillbillies, but nothing could be further from the truth. We love our God, our country, and our president. And we will do all we can to make sure America remains a free republic, just as the founding fathers meant it to be.